if nobody thinks that you can ever rise again, if you've been so hurt that everybody in your family is looking and saying, she's a throwaway, he's a castaway, Jesus said, gather the fragments that remain, because I don't want anything to be lost. Preach, Ricky. I'm talking to some people today that ought to be happy that God uses leftovers. I'm talking to some people today that ought to be glad that if you wasn't in the first group, if you wasn't in the clean group, you wasn't in the holy group, you wasn't in the sanctified group, you went another route, you went another way, you've been down on the ground, you've been mishandled, made some wrong decisions and some bad choices, but if you're a fragment, God still can use you, because he uses fragments. Paul said, I wish somebody say preach. Paul said to the church at Corinth, he said, you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise, not many noble were called, but God chose the foolish things of this world. God chose the fragments. God chose those that nobody would ever use. God included. I wish somebody say, I'm a fragment. But God uses fragments. God uses broken pieces. God uses those who nobody else would give a chance. In what other world could I be a pastor? Man would have been through with me long ago. Didn't have a pedigree. Didn't go to the right schools. Don't have the right connections. But God said, bring that fragment. I can use it. I can use it. I use broken pieces. Use